right, welcome in. A late night TMBR Michigan basketball postgame. Michigan taking on Nebraska tonight down at the Chrysler Center. Cornhuskers coming in without a Big Ten victory, and it looked for a while like they might get one. But Michigan ends up in a game of huge swings. Michigan ends up coming back and hanging on to the end and winning this one by a half dozen, 85-79. Ready to talk about it here. Welcome in. If you were watching this one, you saw Michigan get down 10 points in the first half. You had the previous game, Northwestern and Rutgers, going into overtime, so they didn't get you the first couple minutes. Hunter Dickinson getting into foul trouble, had 2 fouls, and he sat for the majority of the first half where he got off and was playing well early. And the Cornhuskers took advantage of that, and, they got that 10-point lead. They're up 7 at the break, and it wasn't looking good for U of M. Just weren't really feeling it, watching them in this one right here. But then, Michigan slaps a 23-4 run in the second half, led by Hunter Dickinson. And then, Michigan was up 10, and it was like, all right. They woke up, whatever was said at halftime, and, they put their right foot down and blew past Nebraska. It looks like they were going to cruise then to the victory, but, Nebraska was like, not so fast. They came back and put another big run where they're sitting up there and, with inside of 10 minutes, and, Nebraska was back up by 6, but, so it ended up coming down to a 1-possession game. And, Michigan hasn't had a lot of those and they haven't had, great success. Recently, they did get a W where they had a 1-possession game, but, here they were, and it came down to it. And let's see, 90 seconds to go. It's a Michigan's just up by 2. And then, it ends up being a tie game. And the key bucket in this one comes with 1:10 to play. Hunter Dickinson gets the ball, passes it to Devontae Jones, who goes up and makes a layup from the left side with the right hand. And then Jones had a steal with under a minute to go, too. And then Kobe Buffkin comes up with an offensive rebound with 16 seconds to go. And Eli Brooks was fouled. He made the free throws, and Michigan wins it. And, they moved to 11-8 on the year, and they have 11 games to go this season. They had that Michigan State game rescheduled. So there are 11 games left for Michigan in the regular season. And, you're keeping score at home. You want to know if this is a tournament team. Obviously, they had to win the game tonight. They can't afford dropping any home games. You wouldn't think. They go to 5-4 in the conference, but, they need to finish up where, they had to finish up 8-4 in tonight's game. So they still need, 7-4 in the remaining 11. So not a lot of margin for error for the Wolverines. And, so they needed to get this victory tonight, and they're able to end up doing it. Let's see if we can look at the box score here for you. Some of the important numbers for Michigan. If you can't read those, you need to be like me and throw on some glasses here and take a look at it. Not much from Diabate or Caleb Houston. You see there the pair, the freshman, the highly touted freshman. Not bad from the field from Diabate, who just has the 6 points, 3 of 3. But there you see Caleb Houston struggled shooting tonight, 1 of 7, contributing just 6 points. It was the Hunter Dickinson show, 10 of 15, 26 points for the big man. And Devontae Jones did play well. He had that steal late. He scored the game-winning bucket. Dickinson was able to throw it to him there late. Eli Brooks had a nice game. And, Brooks making the free throws late to seal it. You see there, 26 from Dickinson. Brooks with 20 and 18. Let's see if I can make sure that's an 8. 8 and 6 is sometimes, get a little blurry there when they're that small, but nice job by that trio. Kobe Buffkin had the big offensive rebound late in the game. Not much else that you want to say about the Michigan bench there as they go 4 deep. But you didn't see Frankie Collins in the second half or Brandon Johns much. And, not much from those guys there. And Buffkin just has the 2 points, but has that big offensive rebound there at the end. And, here for Michigan, the big thing is now you start looking at these games and how they break down, and knowing that they've got to go 7-4 in their remaining games. And, that's just looking at, let's see if I can wrote these games down just to make it nice and easy for you. If you didn't see the breakdown on how, it'll end up going for them. They've got, that's actually right here. They've got Purdue, Ohio State, and Iowa twice. So you figure if they split those games, winning at home and losing on the road, there's 3 of those losses that we talked about. They got to go to Wisconsin. You'd say that would be a likely loss. So there's their 4 losses. So if they split Purdue, Ohio State, and Iowa, that looks like you just look at the games, Illinois and Michigan State, the big ones. They got a couple others in there. But they need to win those games at home against Illinois and Michigan State. That's going to be tough, but, protected home court, you want to get into the tournament. And I say 7-4, that will put them 4 games above 500. And that's usually the minimum that the selection committee is going to look at. You'd be in 4 games above 500 before, start talking about net ratings and, where you're at and Ken Pom and all the bracketology and first 4 out and all that kind of stuff. You're going to be there. You got to be 4 games above 500. So that pretty much breaks it down there for you on what they need to do to be able to get into the tournament. So it was a hairy situation for them tonight, closer than you would want. Not playing with, it wasn't an awesome game, here from Michigan where, it's precision. But, in the end, being able to get the victory, you just take it. Now it's not a survive and advance thing, but it's a W and move on and turn the page. Because now they got to go to West Lafayette. And, that's a game that you would think that they would lose. But now that's also part where it can, change the perception. You go on the road and take down a team like Purdue. Then you're thinking, okay, that's big time. That's a signature win. And Michigan's looking for one of those, and they have an opportunity to do that coming up on Saturday. But, the big news today, you're watching a basketball team, and, the big news is the football team and Jim Harbaugh. And it looks now like Jim Harbaugh is going to accept an offer to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And, so that's going to be talked about here for, as the next couple of days. I'll be on tomorrow at 1:00. Got my list of candidates. I do think that Ward Manuel, they do need to at least explore outside some outside candidates here to see if they want to bring somebody in. Yeah, it is late in the game, but there are some guys that are out there, and it's Michigan. There'll be some coaches. Yeah, you're coming to the table with millions of dollars, and being able to coach Michigan. There'll be some coaches out there that'll be listening. So, multiple outlets reporting that Jim Harbaugh is set to be the Vikings head coach. So we'll see. It looks like that's going to happen. And then, that's the next thing. You start talking about who's going to replace Harbaugh, and you look at the staff, and then you start talking about recruiting. I mean, those are the things that you do in short order. I'll be talking about all of those things tomorrow on the afternoon live show, 1:00. So check that out wherever you're listening or watching here tonight. All right, that'll do it. 85-79. The final. Michigan does play again coming up in West Lafayette. That is a matinee at Purdue, 2:30 this Saturday. Be on after the game, talking with you about it. Tomorrow, the afternoon live show, talking about Jim Harbaugh and possibly looking like he's going to take that Vikings job. We'll see until it actually happens. Maybe hanging on to a hope that maybe he doesn't take it still, but don't hold your breath on that. All right, that'll do it. I'll talk at you tomorrow.